and reactions than I am in questions, but I'm more than happy to answer them.
I was very interested in your coverage of the in the Ukraine, because in in the news here you never get the story that the people, the overwhelming majority of the people in the Crimea were in fact happy with returning back to Russia, and you never get that, you never see that in the news in this country. So I was glad to see that, and it's.
Well, thank you for that. Somebody else? Reaction?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say. I'd like to know how you,
We're not close.
this is a very professional film, obviously, and not cheap to make, and I just wonder how you can do this.
Well, I'm a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I'm on Social Security. I don't make any money off of what I do, never have. I do offer copies of the film for a donation, 20 bucks, whatever you can afford. If you can't afford it, I give it away. Because that's the only way to distribute the film. And you noticed at the end, there's a long, long list of people who contributed money that enabled me to make the trip. 2 trips down through the Pacific, and then to Germany. I was also in Turkey, Ukraine, Russia, and Crimea. That's the only way I can do it. I'm an independent filmmaker. I do it all. I don't have any help, no staff. So I film, I edit, I write, and produce it.
And how much did you figure it cost to make?
Yeah. You want to say that?
How much did it cost to make the film?
Anybody want to take a guess what it costs to make a film like this? Just a wild guess.
Do you include plane tickets?
Pardon me?
Do you include plane tickets in the cost?
Oh, yeah.
Do you include plane tickets?
Travel costs.
Travel costs?
Oh yeah, the travel costs.
Yeah, that's
Say 20
big.
grand.
How much?
20 grand.
40?
20.
20?
250,000.
250,000?
I was gonna guess
100?
100,000.
Dollars.
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
15,000, huh?
Donations, $25, 50, 100. Some people gave 1,000. Some of the organizations you saw there, Veterans for Peace, different chapters, $500 each. Yeah, so that's how I was able to do it. But anyway.
The clarity of your interview subjects. The setup was very clean, the close-ups were very nice, and the way you edited it. And I could understand them all very well. I especially liked the woman in Hawaii who was saying, you were pushing her a little bit. Like, would you like these people to just go away? But she was making such good points about needing to ask why. And that question still hanging out there in the air.
I don't have very expensive equipment. People often ask, well, what do you do? How do you shoot this? I have 2 digital single lens reflex cameras. They're Canon 7D, several lenses. They record in high definition. So the quality is pretty good. I also have audio equipment that like microphones and lavaliers and that type of thing. Tripods, lights, and for an old guy, it's getting kind of tough to haul that stuff all over the world. And then editing equipment, I lease a computer. It's an iMac, big screen, powerful. And I lease every month the software. It's a whole package of Adobe software that I use. And that's it. You can make movies with your smartphone. I've used this camera when I didn't have the camera with me and something happened and it recorded high definition or a photograph. So you don't have to be fancy to make something. If you have a powerful story and you tell it, it can really influence people.
Traveling around with the film, are you encouraged or discouraged? How do you feel after traveling around in different cities showing the film? Are you encouraged or not?
I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that I might discredit myself. No. That's the first time anybody's asked that. On either of the two documentaries, the first one I did was The Ghost of Jeju, and that's been translated into 7 languages now. It's still going around the world. How do I feel, what he said, as I'm traveling around? Well, first of all, the numbers of people who attend, I've learned with the first film, are not a measure of success at all. Because it's like dropping a stone into a nice clear pond. The ripples go out, and there are never any royalties or fees to show this film. So people get a copy of it, and they share it, they spread it. Beyond anything I can see or imagine, it just takes a life of its own. The same thing is happening with this film. It's been seen 22,000 times on YouTube now by people all over the world. I've got probably 100 comments from people. 99.999% of them are very positive and congratulatory, and thank you for making this film. And a little tiny small percentage tell me I'm a jerk, or a fool, or whatever. I think this film is really too heavy for most people to deal with. My sister, who lives in Seattle, and I just spent a week with her, I asked her, I said, did you watch the film? She said, no, I haven't watched it. And I said, well, why? She said, you know what, there's just so much heavy stuff going on. And I'm just trying to get by in my own life, you know? Everybody's got their stuff to do. She said, I just couldn't deal with it because I thought it was like really heavy. I'm hearing that from people everywhere now. Am I encouraged? Yeah. When I meet people like yourselves, and many of you are activists, and you've been spending maybe most of your adult lives fighting for peace, fighting for justice in this country and around the world, I'm encouraged by that, because I know I'm not alone. And I think that's something that I hope that more people can realize that we're not alone. We are the world's majority. David Hartsow is a very good friend of mine, lives in San Francisco. He's a Quaker. He's been involved in nonviolent, peaceful resistance since he was a little kid, 8, 9 years old. And if we could believe and come together as a people, as a species, and say no. We're not going to participate in this. We're not going to participate and enable illegitimate governments. We can change it. That's my hope. That's my hope. On the other side, we're running out of time. And I think here in the United States, not enough people are feeling the pain yet. There's not enough austerity that people in other countries are feeling that are causing them to rise up.
I guess I just want to think about a different way of marketing films like this, because